My name's Kay. I'm the 2025 United States Barista Champion, and I'm here representing my brand Parterre Coffee at Hotelex Shanghai. Yes, so I was an avid cyclist back in the day. I don't ride as much as I used to now, but I would go out the door and I was riding my bike before school, and as many people, I was drinking Starbucks. I feel very fortunate because I had a lot of friends that were baristas and roasters, and they were kind enough to share the coffee that they were roasting and brewing with me. And there was something in those cups that they were sharing that made me think, oh, there's something special here. I need to understand why these cups are so different than what I'm used to. And I think from there, that natural curiosity led me to making coffee at home. I had a little espresso machine. I had my V60s. I began working in a specialty coffee shop in Los Angeles in around 2013. And since then, I've worked in coffee and I've competed in barista competitions, and here we are today. I feel very fortunate that those friends shared those coffees with me, because I think immeasurably they have changed the direction of my life in the better, and it's something that I feel very fortunate for. I think competing has definitely prepared me well for this challenge, right? So especially for getting to engage with consumers or getting to brew coffee and making sure that the quality is there, it's a challenge that I really enjoy. This past year in 2025, I got to compete at the United States National Barista Championship. And my first year competing was in 2018. So I remember that time I was looking for a way to push myself out of my comfort zone. I wanted to learn as much as possible. And something that I feel grateful for is that I didn't really think about the results, or I didn't really care about the results. So I went into that competition just wanting to push myself and wanting to learn. And I think that attitude has really helped me gain as much as I can from the competition experience. And this past year in 2025, I'm very grateful to say that I became the United States National Champion, and I got to go represent the United States at the stage. So right now, this is a product from Apex Lab. Thank you, Simon. This is a mineral concentration that I'm using to season different coffees, so I can use different recipes for how the brews are turning out. And it allows me to use a relatively soft water to brew the coffee, and then I can use specific concentrations of Apex to dial in the way that I want the flavors to be expressed. This is my first time in China, yes. It's an amazing experience. I feel very grateful to everyone that's been very patient with my lack of knowing the Chinese language, and the consumer base here is incredible to connect with, and getting to share coffees here is a really special way for me to showcase the brand Parterre Coffee for the first time. It's been great to get a finger on the pulse, if you will, of the Chinese coffee community. I wouldn't say that I can speak to the community quite yet, but I think in the US it's a very tight-knit community, especially within the competition community. I think for myself, I recognize that me being able to stand on stage in Milan at WBC was the product of all those years that the community has poured into me, and getting to learn from so many different people, from judges to volunteers to other competitors. And I feel very fortunate that the competition community in particular in the US is so tightly knit. But I think if it were not for the community, I think just the curiosity and just the flavor of coffee alone wouldn't be enough to keep me in this industry. I think the people that I've gotten to meet are so special, and I think there's so many people that leave other industries or find their calling, so to speak, in coffee. And I think that's for a reason. I think it's an industry of people that think about hospitality, about coffee quality, about flavor, and getting to connect with other people. And I think that's something that I found very special. I certainly couldn't pick one person, but the name that first comes to mind is Ben Foote. He is someone that, early on, even when I was competing, he was someone that was very giving with his time and his knowledge. And I see that, again, not just for myself, but for other people in the industry. And I think as accomplished as someone has been is, being so giving with his experience and his learning is something that I want to do the same for. Yes, I think the two things that I would always say for people that are looking to compete are, it's easy to pay too much attention to the results. You can go and you can be disappointed, you can be ecstatic. I think for any competitor, regardless of the results, you want to be able to take away something from that competition. You want to be able to learn regardless of what the result is. Whether you're first, you want to learn something. Whether you're last, you want to learn something. And I think the second thing I would say is that you want to find people that can push you. You want to find people that you can learn from. Competition is one person on stage, but just to get there is such an intensely team effort that you want to find people around you that will support you and that you can learn from, so that it's a reciprocal process. And those people are out there, including myself. If you're a new competitor, message me. I'd love to help you out.